I'm just going to turn this one off.
Oh, that was perfect timing.
Well, we think we're back. We're not 100% positive. But make sure we can share this on our pages. Anyhow, while we were off, there was a chase coming up 35W.
Admin 1264, are you still looking for one more car on 47?
But
Admin 1264, negative.
seem to have lost it. They lost it somewhere coming into Minneapolis. So if you're the late night crew just joining us for overtime, we're over in Minneapolis helping with a metropolitan-wide detail on street racers. They have moved from that spot we were at the farmers market. Of course, you saw an example of what type of stuff they're involved with. Just driving in a reckless fashion. Some of them may have headed to St. Paul, they said, but we haven't had a report that they're actually there yet, right?
Correct. Sounds like I hear some.
Yeah. Well, we're on Lake Street eastbound. For those of you that aren't from the Twin Cities, this is the...
Okay.
We're about to head over. What do we got there?
Right.
No, I don't have the text here. What do you got?
1 second, I got something happened on my screen here.
125, I'll be for report.
We're about to cross over Hiawatha and head to Lake Street. Very good. The Lake Street, of course, turns into Marshall Street when it gets to the river.
660 Public Road, southbound Lexington. That Randolph didn't use Lexington yesterday. Our guys are on the Demi check.
There's the Target store on our left. You can see there that was one of the stores that was looted and destroyed. It's still boarded up.
Urban Group is now on Lexington. METAC 3 will be for Ramsey County. METAC 3 was just D12 on your portable.
Is that the 3rd precinct?
Yeah. Yep.
So we just drove by the location of the police precinct that was overtaken and destroyed. Actually, so you can see a lot of destruction down here. We're at Lake and 28th.
Yeah, was it? First one.
First one, yeah. But this Lake Street was a pretty thriving community. I don't know if you ever scrolled back on my Facebook page, you'll see there's an interview that the press did with a lady that lived in a high-rise. She was just devastated that all her shops and stuff, she uses a wheelchair sometimes and can't get around that well, but all the places she would easily get to get her needs had been destroyed. And the very people that need those services the most lost them.
Tragic.
Tragic, tragic. So we're eastbound on Lake Street at 31st. We'll probably, unless we run into these groups, we'll probably proceed back across the Lake Street Bridge. There's a number of officers out here tonight. Street racers, if you're listening, go home. Otherwise, a lot of cars are going to get towed. Find a new way to entertain yourselves than breaking traffic laws. It's good to look at the cars.
127, Metro 141 I'll be en route from 394 and 35 Dallas Player.
Which we always do. We enjoy that, right?
Absolutely. You can enjoy cars without breaking the law.
But truthfully, in the old days, a lot of these businesses would be open at 1 o'clock in the morning still. You know, when Lake Street was at its best. Obviously, COVID has hit, as well as the riots and looting and burning.
Yeah, a lot of places took a double hit this year.
Double. Longfellow Market. A little further.
Ramsey County, a good portion of the group landed at Webster and Randolph in St. Paul.
Oh yeah, that's their other favorite place.
Heavy.
And they'll go down Shepherd Road like last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember when I told you the story about the protest that was marching into St. Paul? The St. Paul Police Mobile Field Force blocked the bridge. So,
Very successfully.
so here's the bridge, the Lake Street Bridge, Marshall Lake Street Bridge. As we cross over, we'll be coming into Ramsey County from Hennepin to Ramsey.
Crossing over the Mississippi River.
Back on the development of St. Paul, of course, the river was key. Over time, the railroad became key. And they built a number of railroads here into St. Paul and connected all the commerce here. But the barge traffic on the Mississippi is still brings tons of grain, literally tons and tons of grain down the Mississippi, and for some cases shipped in around the world.
I'm going to go to St. Paul 3 on my...
All right, I'll turn this one over here. Something going on over there?
No, just
I'll turn this one
no
over.
point in being on Minneapolis.
Now we're back. Whoa. Very hidden divider there.
Somewhere along here is supposed to be a great barbecue joint. We're on Marshall Street over in McAllister, Groveland / Miriam Park / St. Thomas area.
Trip right to 650. Go ahead. Yeah, it looks like they're going back to the intersection of Fletcher and James.
So a lot of different things going on. We're going to crank up the St. Paul radios again now that we're back in the city. Eastbound Marshall at Fairview. Hope you enjoyed our little time in Minneapolis. Was something different, huh, Pat?
Yeah. Went through some old stomping grounds of mine in downtown Minneapolis.
Okay, 172.
Void X-ray 099.
Joy the plate 182.
It's like the groups have probably split up into smaller groups.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, based upon the number of cops that they've seen out there, they probably know.
They figured something's up.
316, case number 223583. You're welcome at 118.
Well, I'm thinking all of our squads might have those well in hand. What do you think? Should we just make one quick trip down there and then
That sounds like a
go
plan.
back to the east side?
Sure.
We missed the closings, bar closings. Snelling Avenue. You want to go southbound on Snelling for Marshall. Associated Bank. Long time ago, that was Liberty State Bank.
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Fessler started it. My grandfather was a teller there, Nestor Skoglund. Nestor Skoglund was a teller. He worked his life and became the president of the bank.
Really?
Liberty State Bank president. Because eventually Mr. Fessler's son became the president, but at the time he thought my grandfather was more prepared.
Huh.
They just posted some info that they're going to be at 10:30.
So
302, copy.
that's a shot fired.
Shots fired, single caller, 855, Justin Line, reporting 5 shots.
Nestor Skoglund lived on Baird Avenue in Highland Park his whole life with his wife Marion. Was my mom and my mom's dad. I found out when I researched his name Skoglund that his dad actually, when they migrated to Murdoch, Minnesota, they were farmers. His name was Larson. But there were so many Larsons that he changed his name to Skoglund.
Ha! Really?
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Didn't want to be tied up in all the Larsons. So he changed it to Skoglund.
I suppose Larson is a Scandinavian Smith or Jones.
I suppose, yeah. So, actually, the owner of this pizzeria, he invited us to stop in. We got to do that someday.
Tono's has good pizza
Tono's
and
pizza.
cheesesteaks.
Yeah, it said they're just putting it in, right? Used to be the St. Clair broiler.
Right.
Looks like they're building it. So he invited us to stop in and see their construction. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, the first place is up on White Bear Avenue in Maplewood.
We got to do that.
Copy 121.
We're southbound on Snelling into the heart of Highland Park.
I'm still quite a ways away.
Gonna have to drive a hair slower because I'm sensing some metal on metal when we stop. Little rotor action's okay, but you don't want to get down to the
321.
rivets in the rotors.
No, you don't.
Clear my report. You can cancel 631. I'll go back 312.
631 will stay clear.
So we could go straight into Highland, but we're going to turn down Randolph here.
Yeah, but just keep me on. I'm already en route.
Received.
Plums.
Big college hangout.
Big Plums Bar, St. Kate's, St. Thomas, McAllister. Us Hamlin guys, we didn't really come down this far normally. Well, we came down when we knew that the St. Kate's girls were there.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but not, if we lost to St. Thomas in football, we were too embarrassed to come down. Which was usually the case, unfortunately. We did beat them once in my 4 years at Hamlin, so we did beat them once.
And you played that day.
I played every game, started every game for 4 years,
Wow.
and I never missed a play. I got injured on the last play of the last game my freshman year
No kidding.
against Monmouth. I hurt my knee and I had to have knee surgery, but it was the last defensive play of the last game.
I'll be.
But then I was struggling. I told you about how I struggled with trying to get the knee back in shape. But it was the best thing that ever happened. It forced me to get in the weight room and
Okay.
start working out regularly. You got to work on your knees, so you're in there working out. We had quite a rivalry with St. Thomas. Can't say enough good things about Division III football. If you can get a good camaraderie there, some good teammates. Like my daughter played Division I hockey, but it wasn't the same. It was too much of a business.
Right.
You know.
That looks like that might be some of our
There you
crew.
go. There you go. I don't know that last guy. He doesn't really qualify.
Might be the blocker.
Maybe. Rest ball.
Oh, yeah. Coming from all different directions.
I don't know. Chloe, did they say they're going north on Lex again? Because they're all going north on Lex.
Detailed cars to all 15 air again, but it's 1,000.
Oh, nice.
Copy.
Here.
Reach 1
I don't think he's going to stop. Here, hold my pop. Tell him to pull around the corner. Pull around the corner!
Right behind that parked car there. Pull around the corner.
Pull around the corner!
Up.
I don't know what street we're on. Maybe you can check the GPS here.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever chambered my gun there. Can you tell what we're on?
Just a second here. I think we're on Goodrich.
2400 traffic.
2400.
Goodrich east of Lexington, white Impala, no plate.
Traffic at 127.
Hang on a second, you got the